Hi and welcome to this core technique focused class. This is day 2 of your 7-day beginners challenge, and we are going to be talking all things core, including your pelvic floor engagement in this session. It's going to be heavily technique focused, but trust me, this technique is going to be an absolute game changer when it comes to progressing your strength and endurance and overall fitness throughout this program. This technique is something that we use throughout every single one of our classes, whether you are pregnant or not, or postnatal or not. It's an incredible technique to master, and will be so important for getting you feeling super strong. We will be using a mat. I love you to have some sort of supportive cushion or block at the end of your mat so you can keep your neck at the right angle while your head is on the floor. Apart from that, we'll be using your light hand weights again. So I'm using a set of 2 kilo dumbbells. You are more than welcome to substitute in things like water bottles or wine bottles, or you will still get so much from this workout with body weight only. Let's get started by coming down onto your mat. And we're going to pop our head onto your cushion or foam block, whatever you're using to give yourself a little bit of support. Before we get started with adding any extra movements, we are going to talk about breathing and engagement. I always think it gives you a much better chance of understanding this technique if we just close our eyes and you can just listen to my voice and just follow along with the instructions that way rather than watching the screen. It just helps you kind of come inwards a little bit and really focus on what your body is doing, which is exactly what we're here for. So let's take both hands down towards the mat. Palms are facing down and your feet are flat to the floor. They're not too close in towards your bum and they're not too far away, but it doesn't really matter, just whatever feels comfortable. Let's just make sure your knees are hip width apart. And just take a second to really let the shoulders relax down towards the floor. Maybe give your upper back a little wiggle on the mat. Okay, we're going to start off by just breathing. And I want you to breathe in a deep breathing pattern. It might take you a few breaths to find that, because naturally we're probably all in a bit more of a shallow breathing pattern where you might feel your chest expand a lot as you inhale. But let's focus on breathing deeply, and we want to think about your ribs expanding through the front, the sides and the back with every inhale. Okay, so deep breath in. And exhale. Just release it off. Nice deep breath in. And exhale, release it off. I don't want you adding any core engagement or contraction on your exhales. I just want you focusing on that deep breathing pattern. So breathe it in, let your ribs expand. And exhale. Release it off, well done. Just keep checking in, make sure you're not holding tension in your shoulders, keep relaxing them down towards the floor and try not to hold any tension in your jaw. We're going to keep it going, but on your exhales, I want you to take your focus to your pelvic floor and I want you to think about contracting your pelvic floor as you exhale. And now as you breathe in with that deep breath, you're just going to fully release that pelvic floor contraction. Breathe in. And exhale. Contract the pelvic floor. Breathe in, release. And exhale, contract. Take your focus down towards the lower part of your tummy and just see if you can notice or feel any kind of engagement happening there when you contract your pelvic floor. Don't worry if you can't, but just take a second to check in and see if you can. We're going to go for a deep breath in, fully release any contraction. And exhale, contract the pelvic floor, see if anything happens towards the lower abs there. Okay, breathe in, let it go. We're going to start to intentionally add your core engagement on your exhales. So we'll start off with that deep breath in, let the ribs expand, relax your pelvic floor. You're going to exhale, contract the pelvic floor. And now I want you to think about engaging through your lower, mid, and upper abs, and in that order. Okay, so we breathe in, release any engagement. Exhale, contract the pelvic floor. Think about pulling your hip bones together, the mid abs, and the upper abs engage, and you keep going until you feel your ribs have pulled down and in. We breathe in, fully release, let the ribs expand. Exhale, pelvic floor, wrap lower, mid, upper abs, pull the rib cage down and in. Breathe in, release. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower, mid, and upper abs. So you think about wrapping the core in that order every time you engage. Inhale, fully release. We're going to go 3 more times. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower, mid, upper abs. Breathe in, release. Exhale, engage. Last time, breathe in, release. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower, mid, upper abs, engage. Hold that engagement. Take a shallow breath, and by that I mean breathe into your chest. Exhale, wrap the core a little stronger. Breathe into your chest. Exhale, wrap a little stronger. Breathe into your chest. I want you to aim to try and keep a level of engagement through the core as you breathe into your chest. Go 2 more, breathe in. Exhale, wrap the core. Last time, breathe in. Exhale, wrap the core. This time, breathe in, deep breath. Let the ribs expand, relax your core. Hopefully you should have felt when you shifted to that shallow breathing pattern that your core engagement just got stronger and stronger and stronger, and you never fully released it. And you might have felt a little bit shaky by the end of that sequence. That is really, really good because it meant that you were holding a level of engagement there. We are going to want to be able to move between that deep breathing pattern and engagement and that shallow breathing pattern and engagement right the way through all of our classes, and not just when we're on the floor in core work. So you'll find that we talk about this technique throughout the rest of this series, and you'll get really familiar with adding it into all sorts of different movements. Okay, now we're going to increase the level of intensity. We're going to start to move through the legs. We're going to add in some weights. If at any point it feels too much for you, you have the option to lose the weights totally, and you can always bring your feet back down to the mat. Okay, let's get started by shifting your feet back towards your bum. We're going to take that deep breath in, let your ribs expand. Exhale, I want you to lift the pelvic floor, wrap your core. Hold that tension through your core, breathe into your chest. Exhale, wrap the core stronger. You're going to pull your knees all the way in towards your chest, and then float the legs forwards, maintaining core engagement. Breathe into your chest here. Exhale, wrap the core stronger again. We're going to take hold of your weights. So just keep them down towards the floor to start off with. Breathe into your chest. Exhale, wrap the core stronger, reach your weights to the ceiling. So we always exhale on the work, and as you brought the weights up there, you should have felt like your arms felt heavy, more work came through your core, so you have a better chance of increasing strength and protecting your spine if you exhale as you lift them up. Okay, breathe into your chest. Exhale, wrap the core stronger, tap one foot down. Breathe in, bring it back up. Exhale, tap it to the other side. Breathe in, lift up. Exhale, tap. So you're wrapping the core stronger as you push that leg away from the line of your hips. Notice it's not just the toes. Okay, this looks very different to this, and the work is also very, very different. Okay, so try and make sure you're maintaining the bend through the knee and you're pushing away from the line of your hip. We are going to go 4 more times. Go for 3, for 2, and last one. Coming back up to tabletop. Breathe into your chest. Exhale, wrap the core stronger, lift up into a crunch. Breathe in, lower it down. Exhale, lift up. Breathe in, lower. Exhale, lift up. We are going to go 4 more times. Remember your options. Get rid of the weights and take your feet to the floor if that feels better. See if we can avoid really rounding through the back and bringing the shoulders up here. Keep the length through your neck. Your chin is lifted away from your chest. You're up for 3. You're still in that shallow breathing pattern. 2. And last one, hold all the way up, breathe into your chest. Exhale, single leg extends. Breathe in, bring it back. Exhale, extend. Breathe in, bring it back. Exhale, extend. We have 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Well done. Pop the weights to the floor. Hug your knees into your chest and take a gentle rock side to side, just releasing any tension that you might feel in your back. If you feel that tension or any tension a little bit higher up, pull your knees right into your chest and take that gentle rock side to side. If it feels a little bit lower, let your knees pull away from you and rock side to side, more around your tailbone. That releases pressure a little bit closer down towards your pelvis. Okay, we're going to pop your feet to the floor. We're going to come up to all fours. And you can just pop your weights either side of your mat. Maybe move your block or your cushion away so you have a little bit more space on the floor. Taking your hands right underneath the line of your shoulders and knees come right underneath the line of your hips. Okay, from here, we're going to make sure your toes are tucked under, and we've got a neutral position with your pelvis. So that basically means you're not letting it tilt forwards, and equally, you're not kind of clenching through your glutes and tucking under. Okay, so a neutral position is really important basically at all times through any kind of exercise. It helps you keep your ribs stacked right over your pelvis, which is the best possible position for A, protecting your spine, and B, getting great core function. Okay, let's turn the elbows back to face your thighs, soften the elbows a little bit, push the floor away, and just keep your eye line down towards the floor in front. We're going to take that same deep breath in, letting the ribs expand as you inhale. As you exhale, you're going to lift the pelvic floor, wrap your core, pull the knees away from the mat so we come to a hover. Breathe in, set the knees back down. Exhale, wrap the core and lift. Breathe in, lower. Exhale, wrap the core and lift. Breathe in, lower. Exhale, wrap the core, lift up. See if you can start that engagement through your core before you lift the knees away from the mat. We are going to come up 4 more times. Then we're going to change that shallow breathing pattern and we're going to increase the pace just a little bit. So we're going to keep constant core engagement. Last 2 and last 1. Hold it at the top. Breathe in, shallow breath. Let the chest expand. Exhale, wrap the core, bring it back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift. And lower. Chest expands. Hold the engagement as you tap the knees. Wrap stronger as you lift back up. We lower and lift. Lower. Lift. We are going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Well done. Set the knees to the floor, bring them wider than your feet. Push your bum back towards your heels and step both hands out in front. Layering your breath work onto your core engagement is such a key part of making this all work really smoothly together and getting you to the strongest possible point. But I do know that sometimes adding that breath work can feel a bit confusing. If you intentionally breathe out through your mouth and make a little sound, just as I was then, it helps you stay in that pattern. You kind of remember to do it a little bit more. So even though it might feel a bit silly doing it to start off with, it will really help you stay in that right breathing pattern. Make sure you're not holding tension through your jaw, and will be incredible for helping you feel and get stronger through your core. Okay, we're going to come all the way back down to lie on your mat. So just pop your cushion or your block or whatever you're using right at the back of your mat. And we're going to lower ourselves all the way back down. Let's take both hands behind your head. So we're going to support our head to make sure we're not taking too much tension through your neck in this crunch sequence. And we're going to step your feet into your bum. And again, remember your modification option here is to bring your feet down to the floor. They do not have to be at tabletop. Let's take a deep breath in, let the ribs expand. Exhale, lift the pelvic floor, wrap lower, mid, upper abs. Hold that engagement, pull the knees to your chest, float the legs forwards to tabletop. Your tabletop position is with your knees right over the line of the hips. Try not to pull them all the way in. The further out they are, the more of a challenge through your core. Breathe into your chest. Exhale, wrap the core, lift into a crunch. Breathe in lower. Exhale, lift. Breathe in lower. Remember, we're being intentional, breathing out through your mouth, and you can make that little noise. Kind of sounds like an S sound or like a shush as you come up. If you're feeling tension through your neck, you could press your head into your hands, and that should help switch off the muscles through the front of your neck. Just drop your eye line towards your tummy as you come up. And what you want to see is your tummy getting flatter as you lift. That will show that you're controlling pressure well within your core. If you notice a kind of doming through the middle or coning, kind of pushing up through your belly button, that means you're pushing pressure up towards the ceiling, whereas we want to pull it in towards your spine, okay? So as you pull pressure in, you should notice the appearance of your tummy just gets flatter as that pressure moves down and away from your belly button. Let's go for 4, 3. We're going to hold up in 2. And last one, hold it here. Breathe into your chest. Exhale, single leg extends. Breathe in, bring it back. Exhale, extend. Breathe in, bring it back. It's a shallow breathing pattern. You're maintaining a level of core engagement the whole time. Let's go 4 more. You've got the option to stick with singles, or if you're feeling good here, we're going to take it to doubles. Last one, breathe in. Exhale out. Breathe in, bring it back. Wrap the core, reach out. You can take one hand to the lower part of your tummy, and if you feel pressure pushing up into that hand, you might want to come back to that alternating single legs instead. It will probably show that double legs is just a little bit too much for you to be able to control pressure well whilst adding that movement. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and last one. Well done. Pull the knees all the way into your chest. Again, bring them all the way in and just take a little gentle rock side to side. And we're going to pop your feet down to the mat. Let both knees drop over to one side, and we're aiming to keep both knees glued together so your hips stack right on top of each other, and bring both arms out nice and wide. Deep breath in. Exhale, pull this opposite shoulder down towards the floor. You should get a nice stretch through your back. Take your eye line round to follow that hand. And then coming through the center, take it onto the other side. Again, knees stay stacked. Knees stay stuck together. Stack your hips right on top of each other. Deep breath in. Exhale, let's bring the opposite shoulder down. And then coming back through the center. We're going to bring ourselves all the way up to sitting. Just turn to face the front. Reaching both arms all the way up to the ceiling. Deep breath in. We're going to exhale. Pull the elbows wide so they come past the line of your shoulders, and lift your chin up nice and open across the chest. Breathe in, reach up. Exhale, open. Breathe in, lift up. We spend a lot of time in that crunch work. We want to make sure that we're not just constantly rounding through the back. So it's nice just to take the opportunity to open up across the chest. Last time. And then let's bring both hands down. Give yourself a little shrug up towards the ears. Release the shoulders down. Pop your feet together and let your knees come out wide. We're going to come into a butterfly stretch, which is amazing for releasing any tension that you might be holding through your hip flexors. So if you ever do get any tension in your core work through your hip flexors, you can always come up to this position where we take a deep breath in as you sit nice and tall, and then exhale. Bring the chest forwards and find that just releases tension into those hip flexors. And then come all the way up. Huge well done on completing day 2. I know that today was very technique focused, but hopefully it all started to make a little bit of sense. Don't worry if it feels like it's all brand new when I'm speaking a foreign language. As we work through these 7 days of classes, it is all going to become so much more natural, and you will feel the benefit of this core engagement technique, I promise. I can't wait to see you again for day 3 tomorrow.